I'm scooting out. You're the first one. Looks like nobody's here for Easter. Oh, there are a few people. There's my permanent visitor over here. Let me grab a coffee, guys. Okay, let's have a coffee together. Right, Sophie? Hi Keisha, hi Harlem. Hi from New York. You guys tell me where you're from. What are you doing for Easter? And yeah, happy Easter to you. Yes, Sophie. Do you want a coffee, Sophie? Want a coffee? Want a coffee? Want a coffee? Hello? Hello, hello. Hi, Sophie. Keisha said hi. Say hi to Keisha. You're being rude now. You're being rude. All right, guys. So I am scooting from Toronto to see my dad. Hi, Lottie. Nice to see you. And I put too much sugar in my coffee. I think I double it up. So it's going to be less of us. I think it's a weekend. People are getting busy, which is going to, hopefully, this is going to be great. The energy is going to be much, much clearer to do it and not too much confusion. So did you guys see your monthlies? What did you think? Let me start shuffling. So to do it, it's going to be much easier for me, trust me, because dealing with this much energy, I sometimes feel like a performer and you need to kind of bounce off against so many energy and so many things. Easter weekend family time. Yeah, I guess everybody is doing it easy. So, which group am I doing first today? Thank you, Sally. This time the monthlies were kind of like without major glitches, only on Aquarius. I forgot to remove the sound when I was shuffling, so you're hearing this like Martian sounds. But other than that, I think it was not as painful as usual. Hi, Cat Lady. Glad to see you too. Hello from Winnipeg. Look at my Canadians are here. Monthly, Gemini, Fire. You know what? We never did Fire before first. Let's do Fire. Let's do Fire. I watched Cross Watcher for Aquarius. Yeah, it was kind of like very strange, the Aquarian one. I was like, this kind of makes sense that Aquarians need to really reassess kind of like their own ways. Gemini, look at Geminis today. Guys, you actually, I have to say, you're very interesting to me. I am in particular following Gemini and Capricorn. Not for anything in my private life, but for simply public, for the politics. And I just like really want to see how these two signs will develop. And of course, Sag is on the opposite side of that, right, as well. So, Fire. You know what? I seen the moon. I couldn't sleep. I have a problem sleeping. I fall asleep at like 4 or 5 in the morning. But oh my gosh, it was like full moon. It was so beautiful. And it is nice and sunny here in Toronto. Warm for our standards. So 9 degrees Celsius. What would that be for you guys in the States? It would be like 40, I would say. No, it would be 50. You too, cat. You too, Cat Lady. I don't know, like everybody that I'm dealing with recently is complaining about not being able to sleep. So, Fire. Oh boy, Aquarian men, they can be difficult, right? Okay. You said I like the moon last night. Oh my gosh, it was like so pretty, but just guys be careful. It is the Mercury retrograde, full moon in it. What could go wrong? Kind of a thing, right? Okay, focus, focus, cat, focus, cat, focus, cat. Focus, cat. Focus. A really, Moonchild? So everybody's getting affected. So this is just not me. I was thinking I'm spending way too many hours in front of the computer because I kind of like work like first thing in the morning to very last thing at night, and sometimes like even good 14 hours. And I think I'm completely buzzed. Okay, look at this. I think this is a general message. Well, of course, this kind of makes sense. It's the world reversed, right? It's kind of card of completion. Something is not completing. This is not necessarily the great place to be, but it can kind of range from, hey, you didn't finish something. And if you're hearing behind me, this is Matrix and Safi. I think he took on a role of a babysitter. So they kind of like chit chat. So something is still ongoing. Something. Can you hear that? Hey, guys. Matrix, that's no blood. Sorry. Sorry guys, I just like want to make sure that you see this is a good example of 511 sentences go too far. Right, Lati? So don't think I'm murdering a cat. So I think they found a catnip and that's what's happening. Okay, so yeah, Safi is all over the place right now. So let's see how this actually happens. Fire. Oh my gosh, fire. You know what, fire? Look at this. I'm getting a Leo. Any Leo over here? Any Leo dealing with a Scorpio, dealing with Aries or Libra, Sagittarius? These are clearly messages for you guys over here. So the issues that you maybe are worrying or wondering about are going to come to pass. There is like something from the past finally resolving, finally seeing things eye to eye, and it is coming back to issues that maybe were difficult, but nonetheless coming back. Sometimes we come back to resolve this. There is like this non-committal energy, especially for Leo. You don't know if you want to go back and forth. I see the Aries over here. Oh my gosh, look at that. What are the chances? I'm doing a fire sign, so I guess you got your reading. So look at this. I have a Leo, I have Aries, and I have Sagittarius. All of them. And then is this Judgment over here card, which does belong to Scorpio, but it could literally mean judgment. Something from the past needs to kind of be brought to the surface and be cleared. When it is upright judgment, it's good. It generally means, hey, you know what, whatever it is, we are reaching this level of forgiveness, we are sorting things out, and we are moving forward in a positive way. Because it looks like there were lots of possibly financial issues related and worries in the past. Maybe you're still kind of like mulling over quite a few issues. But look at this. Somebody is waiting for somebody to come. This is generally a very good card. It's a card that promises success. So let me see. I kind of have dual messages over here. Boy, you're getting like super master reading fire signs. Look at this. I have 5 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles. This is telling me about juggling. This is the only card, and this one as well. These 2 cards are not really, they're like really different from the others, and I don't know why, but they are standing out. So I'm going to tell you about it. This can actually have few meanings, and one meaning is, of course, the obvious. Somebody's juggling 2 people. It can mean that, but this can also means kind of like debating in decision making. And I think I better show you this table better. I hope you can see it now. We'll see it. There you go. So this means there is a lack of teamwork. Maybe you're trying to kind of resolve a problem, and maybe somebody's getting very defensive. Like, it looks like one party cannot move forward without resolution of the problem. Even though, guys, look at that. This is like unbelievable combination. if you sometimes they say in psychology, do you want to be sorry, I'm still not thinking properly. I'm not a morning type. Do you think right? Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? So sometimes we have to let go of certain things, right? So look at this. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Temperance. Look at this. This is a cold wish card. To me, it just like simply means focusing on things that we really should desire. So focus on the positive kind of a thing, and become open to new opportunities, become wishful, and kind of like enjoy your surroundings, enjoy your friends, call a friend if you haven't in a while, right? And this kind of like, it's definitely two different messages. So of course, it's Mercury retrograde, guys. You're going to be having something from the past coming in, and maybe this is simply referring to some kind of like past actions, or this could distinctly mean two different paths of how to go about this. So this week, fire will be very crucial for you in how do you do it. So you know what they say, like you have a glass half full. Which one do you choose, half full or half empty? This actually is probably what I would sign off on it, right? So let me get the clarifiers for each of the signs so we can do that. Any questions, guys? No questions. Hola, look at Lati. Let's go with the Leo, because Leo came twice, and Leo in particular is coming like in kind of like in a duality, right? Because we have the sun and we have the strength for Leo. It's sort of like Leo is on a brink. Do you want to go forward? Do you want to go backward? Do you want to push? Do you want to pull? Do you want to kind of clamp up? It has the and Aries kind of like, but Sagittarius, I think they're just fine, to be honest. I think Sagittarius necessarily, generally, technically, they're usually happy people. They choose enthusiastic solutions. So this most likely is going to be the way. Oh, you heard it, Flappy. Oh my gosh, I got so many comments on the microphone, and I don't like how you swallow. I don't like this, because actually I do have, and I'll show you, I do have a really good microphone. And I don't know if you can see it, but look at it. It's enormous. So just imagine I'm holding this huge beach ball. I don't know if you can even see this huge beach ball in front of me each time that I read, and it's really picking up every single sign. So I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll be sipping gulp gulp. Okay, so I'm doing this again. Can you hear me? Wow, there we go. So let's go. Let's go for Leo. Thank you, Cat Lady, for help. Okay, so Leo, you're getting the King of King of Cups reversed. Well, King of Cups reversed is not somebody I like, because there is somebody who is appearing to be, yeah, super kind of nice and listening and reliable, but kind of like the tendency here is to be manipulative. The tendency here is to tell things that they're not there, exaggerate things, even kind of like gaslighting, kind of like pushing things back at us. And I can see that's possibly a dilemma. It could be that's the person, man and a woman, because this is a general reading, that is kind of like pushing you into kind of these feelings. But I think you're resolving this, guys. Even Leo is resolving it. Like, I mean, the issues. It's going to be probably somebody. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's going to be somebody from the past that you have a very strong bond, guys. The Judgment card, it means that you not only live one past life, and not maybe even this one, but you had lifetime after lifetime after lifetime together. And this is talking about soulmates, right? The Judgment card does relate to Scorpio because they have this depth, right? But now we are going really deep in the past lives. And it's a very emotional affair, just because and it's like somebody you have been married to in past lives. And just because you have been, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have problems in this life. So let me get one more for Leo, because you guys have the most complexity this week from all fire signs. There you go. You see, there is like something about a soulmate, like you're having a 6 and a 6 over here, and this is not just for Leo, it's for everybody. So this one is thinking that it's the right thing to do, right? Giving. And it's also another thing is like this balance of give and take has to be established, because look at this guy has merchant scale and he's literally measuring how much to give. So I think because the strength is reversed, which can talk about sometimes exploding, sometimes kind of like pushing things too much. We all get really fiery at times, especially fire signs, and I have Leo in me. Then it's telling like, look, kind of be careful with this. Looks like you're coming back to some old issues, and by even mere fact that you're doing this, it is kind of really important to be composed. So maybe if you guys want to talk about some past issues, which Mercury retrograde is famous for, I would just say prepare kind of like points and stay on it, right? And try to do not you, try to do I am bothered when this is done, and that kind of like people can digest this better. All right, let's check Aries. Aries, why is the Emperor here? It's stabilizing something. What's going on? It's something is out of control. Something from the past is coming back. You kind of like had the direction you want to go into, but it started to kind of like feel like, oh my gosh, I'm slipping, I'm falling. Let's see what happens. So Aries, something flicked here. Ooh, and there you go, another Aries Scorpio card. So this is a really, really strong message to Aries Scorpio combinations, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that the Scorpio is a rising sign. This simply can mean the Tower is a really good card. First of all, it's phallic. So if you guys have relationships, you might tend to want to keep them, or somebody keep you, on a very kind of like superficial level. And it's simply kind of like warning that this is not the way to go. Not with this person, not in this situation. This is kind of like really, really important to figure out what you didn't build and see this stability or some kind of equilibrium that you want to reach. You really want to be happy, but you're standing on a slippery ground over certain issues. So you have to figure out, this is really big message. You guys are getting a major arcana over Aries. What needs to be rebuilt, guys? It is definitely talking about something on the outside, not so much on the inside. Something in your life that needs to be looked at. Let me just check this Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Look at this. Remember how I said this could be juggling? Was it Aries that had the issues with a breakup, or somebody broke your heart, or there was a cheating and you feel like this piercing kind of thing? This is definitely a rejection card, but you know that saying, rejection is God's protection. And I think this is what it is. You're trying to get to terms with something that has happened or that is happening, and in a big way. The Tower usually happens and shows up when you don't want to do it on your own. Sometimes we say, okay, you know what, the time is going to take care of that, and we'll keep going without conscientiously kind of like doing things that we need to do, getting rid of their items and stuff like that. And then something happens that kind of like resurface everything. And Mercury retrograde is one of those things, right? So let me see. Tia dear, Mary's son, lover, is like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde at times. Just trying to catch up with you. Hi, Dean. How are you? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. My voice sounds like somebody who just like roll out from bed. So, and having a coffee, and I hope you guys have yours. So let me have another sip that all of you can hear it. So now, Sagittarius, I'm kind of like really not worried about you. I should just like send you off, but let's see what other messages are here for Saggies? And I guess because this was such a mixed reading, if you guys are just later cluing in just on Saggies, I would track back to also Leo and Aries, because the messages are coming through for everybody. It's going to be really difficult to unglue this, because you guys, this is going to be really big week for you. Temperance. Why is the Temperance for Saggies over here? Why is Temperance here for Saggies? Any messages for Saggies? Wow. Let me just flip this. Any messages for Saggies? There you go. Queen of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is, I'm just like trying to see how this makes sense. And who is this Queen of Wands? Is this you? Because this is saying everything is in balance. Or it could be just simply a significator that came out. Queen of Wands is basically fire female. In particular, she represents a Leo. Well, all of the fire, even the king, will be shown as a sign of Leo. But this is definitely coming across. Somebody is seeing, Sagittarius, you're having somebody in life who you see as needy, who you see as domineering, and who you see as vain. Or this could be you. So you might be coming across to the other people that way. Or controlling. Let's see, it's kind of weird because Leo had this King of Cups, somebody emotionally controlling, and here is somebody almost like procedurally controlling, kind of like, do this, take the garbage out, and you have to call me now, sort of like that kind of a way. Let me see one more card there for Saggies. Saggies. There is the one that wants to look at that. I'm telling you, like Saggy-Leo connection. Hi Pamela. I just actually started. Sagittarius Leo is a very strong vibration I'm getting, and that's because there are less people. So I'm telling you, it's going to be much easier reading. But look at the overlap. So it's going to be really interesting what's going to happen here. So somebody here wants to commit to somebody, but they're like finding there is like still one missing ingredient. The Strength card is, okay, finally coming to that balance, finally understanding issues. The Strength card is not talking about taming the freaking lion. It's talking about the parts in us that are sort of like rough and that are needed to kind of like tone down, right? And this is what we need in commitment, because sometimes you have to negotiate things in a relationship that, you know, otherwise if you were single you would never kind of let go for. So any questions, guys? Let me just look at the conversation a little bit. Hi Pamela, Sally, Brenda. Thank you Lati, and thank you Cat Lady so much for helping. So let's go. Who is next? Who is next? You, Fire. I will be paying attention to Fire. I'm just trying to memorize my monthlies. Also, let me ask you, I did Lenormand last month and it was like really well received. Did I do Gypsy last month? Yeah, I did Gypsy. So if I have to pick one of them, which one should I pick for the series? What do you guys think? Because when I did the what do you call it, quiz, when I did poll, kind of like people said I don't actually like them, but they were really well received. And guys, please give me a thumbs up. And also, I don't know if you know, but I do actually have a newsletter. And what I'm thinking about doing, but don't hold me to it because honestly I'm so busy, especially with this promotion, with speed up promotion. So you have no idea, but this is really exhausting. So it takes, after each reading, quite a bit of the time to recover, especially when I do monthlies. But I'm planning for people who are on a mailing list to possibly kind of like have just reading dedicated to them, and it's just like very much like this live reading, And I was even thinking that live readings will be just for the people on my mail list. So only people who come live can see it. Otherwise, I would not keep it live. So that's going to be interesting. So let's see what you say. Cat Lady Lenormand. You're starting to get what the cards mean finally. They're like kind of different. I kind of like Lenormand has this like mystic thing, and I think I should do Lenormand with clarifying of the Gypsy. I really like Gypsy for clarifiers because it's kind of like almost like court intrigues. Okay, Dean, I was wondering, what do you do within the NLP community? Well, I have NLP certifications, right? Because, right, I'm a psychologist, and I'm not a steady psychologist who's going to put you on the couch and now you talk all about it. I combine lots of different therapies. I started NLP when I came to Toronto when it was not accepted by the mainstream. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and it is really helping us to rewire our brain because we have one big possibly elliptical electrical system that we sometimes get stuck, and they're doing lots of research right now, and they're realizing that the patients with trauma and rape, they can actually help with NLP. So I find in my coaching that is a really, really good tool, and sometimes they give you suggestions such as interrupt yourself, etc. Okay, which group is the next? Downside about live, I believe it can disrupt your energy. Hard to tell. I actually really like live because I'm on the extroverted side, and given that now I work from home, I kind of like need this human touch. And as some people are so gracious when I do the reading, they can actually write back to me and give me their feedback and give me the insight in their lives, which kind of like really means a world to me. But like this is better. Like, I mean, we're exchanging the energy, right? So this is awesome. So it looks like you like Lenormand better. Okay, so Lati, you're awesome. All right, so let me ask you guys. I don't want to ask you about your age because, you know, they say this is rude. But from all the social media, I'm kind of really neglecting Twitter. I'm simply saying this is the new thing on it. But Instagram and Facebook, I guess I'm in my early 40s. I'm more or less going Facebook kind of way. But how many of you are really, really Instagram ladies and gentlemen there? That would be interesting to know, because I was thinking to use Instagram sort of like to give the same thing I'm doing for Facebook for just like simply meanings of the cards. So yeah, I don't like Twitter. Oh my gosh. I just cannot, as you can see, I'm very bubbly. I can't express myself in 140 or 280 characters. There we go, Instagram junkie. IG. Well, if anybody wants to be my social media volunteer for Instagram, I'm welcoming you. We can kind of work out maybe some, you know, private readings in exchange. I really need that, but I need also somebody who can prepare stuff in Photoshop. Okay, definitely Facebook, not so. Twitter, that's a no-go. So Twitter is kind of like fading out. It's kind of weird. Twitter was like really young people stuff, and it never took off for me. I had to do it at work. People loved it at work. Twitter never grew on me. It's just like, it feels like you start a sentence, you never finish the sentence. But Instagram, it's also not my thing, but I can see that people love it. And you know why Instagram is not my thing? Because you have to write a whole bunch of hashtags. It's popular, but I'm tired of Facebook and social media in general. I like actual discussions. Cat Lady, what is your sign? Please refresh my memory. You are air sign, right? Moonchild 56 on the 4th of April. Oh my gosh, Moonchild. Happy birthday in advance. My brother birthday. Did anybody see my brother? Guys, did you see how he looks? I kind of like introduced him on Facebook. So if you haven't, check it out. Another sip. Gemini. Okay, so who is next? Which element is next, guys? he's kind of, you know, looking threatening. He's looking strong. He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I swear to you, he's enormous. So whenever I watch Oscars and all this kind of like, let's call them hunks, he would never fit into that kind of suit. Like, I mean, his arms are just like this big, right? But oh my gosh, is he ever a sweetheart? He is the gentle giant. Like, I mean, how he takes care of his wife and his 2 kids, girls. It's like literally like cat that has the birds crawling all over. Unbelievable, going out of his way to do that. Earth, Keisha, you called it. Let's do Earth. I don't know. That's the first thing I've seen. Sorry, Black Cat. I've seen water, but I've seen Earth before. I look younger than my age, not even telling my age. Same thing here. I kind of like get away with going below my age, so I'm going to keep at it, right? Dean, just go on and I should probably put it over here as well. Go on Facebook and check Cat Tarot and join. There are 2 Cat Tarots, both of them are me. It's simply I sometimes have issues with Facebook. If I post too many things, they block me and they say you're spamming. Hello, this is my Facebook, right? And so I kind of like had to come up with a second one to kind of like bypass that system. So Earth, what's going on with Earth this week? Earth. And happy Easter to everybody who's celebrating. I am a cultural Christian and kind of like I just like the social aspect of it, and I like kind of getting together, etc., etc. Earth. So guys, if you have Earth in your chart, if you have sun sign, rising sign, moon sign, or even Venus, this is kind of like good to know. Okay. Okay. Earth. Something flicked for Earth. You have 7 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, but we also have the Chariot. Earth. What's happening for Earth this month? 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 Okay, guys. Earth. Okay, let me tell you, I have a little bit different view on elements than they're defined, and I'm going to give you a really quick scoop about this. So for me, the air is the highest, but I also divide the air in 3 layers because we have Gemini, we have Libra, and Aquarius. And then under air I have fire, then I have earth, and then I have water. So just like think about these 4 layers, and each of them has a sub-layer in terms of energy. So the earth have above fire and below water, and that's exactly what I see. Look at this, fire and water. So what does that mean? That means that you guys will be rebalancing yourself this time around. You guys will be, it's kind of really interesting that some of you are realizing that certain things are no-go. It's almost like, generally this card means like you're overcome with opposition and caving in. But I sometimes think like, you know, the smarter kind of like person kind of realizes maybe I can prove my point over here, and reassessing, because especially with this kind of combination over here, it is telling me that you guys are finding a new way of dealing with things. This is a really good card. This for like, I mean, Earth, it's card of expertise. It's a card of teamwork. It's a card of a detail. It's a card of being proud. So something I think has been resolved for Earth. Something, it's moving forward for Earth, and it's moving forward with huge speed. The Chariot is moving very fast. Chariot is not the best for relationships because it definitely indicates well, one person is like taking reins, right? And maybe this is what it was. Maybe something didn't work in a relationship and somebody said, oh, screw it, you know, I have to do it on my own and I have to push it forward. Also, this represents Cancer, and this represents Pisces, and this represents Sagittarius, and this represents Leo. So that's what I was saying. You have a fire and you have water. So it looks like you guys will be going through interesting stage this week where somebody who is a Queen of Rods, this could be a man or female, that could be you. You might be go, 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 doing a whole bunch of stuff. And this is kind of like very unusual after Easter weekend, right? Usually we are all lethargic. We are going back to work. We are full of food and stuff like that. But it looks like this is going to be, hey, you know what? I am awesome. I am sexy. And I am mover and shaker kind of a thing. Kind of giving up on something to kind of like refocus on something else. There is here a really clearly coming out that you literally set your eye on a goal and you're reaching complete clarity in this. It looks like you were either waiting for somebody or waiting, because look at here, he does have the sun on his chest and we have the moon. And when we have that in the reading, this is really, really good. In Lenormand, I love to see this is talking about something really big happening. So guys, do not sit on your behind this week. It is really, really, really important to kind of keep pushing forward. This is going to be an awesome week for you. Kind of like making things work. Maybe certain things couldn't. Alrighty, look at that. You see? That's probably why it happened. I see you, cat. You see me? Where did you see me? I'm back. What happened offline? No, offline happened that I just went for a coffee because I realized we are offline. So, we are going to right now check all the elements. Let's check. Who is the first one? Taurus. Let's check Taurus. Well, no, it is, I put the special programming on, and that programming is like when people jump in later, they can still kind of like move that red bar that you have on the bottom and kind of like check the previous reading. So that kind of probably takes a little bit more to propagate at the same time as doing the reading. You're seeing my hand. You're seeing my hand. Oh my gosh. I really hope nobody's seen me because I'm still in my long t-shirt, my jammies. The hair is all over the place. Okay, so let's Taurus. Give me the Taurus messages. Taurus messages. Strength and King of Swords. Taurus. Be very careful how to express things. You know what? I'm horrified because I have to go and see my dad. He's Taurus and he can be a bully, and this kind of like tells me, oh my gosh, it's going to be some kind of like bullying atmosphere. He's like, no, it's just like me, like it's just me, literally. I even gave him a big t-shirt that has a big me on it. So this is saying be careful how you express yourself. Here again, be careful how you express yourself. But this is talking about some kind of sharpness, or maybe feeling that somebody is cutting you off, or maybe feeling that you have to take justice in your own hands. Okay, Taurus will be bulls this time around. Honestly, oh boy, maybe I should not go down to Niagara. But even if I don't go, he's quite capable of creating problems over the phone. So, oof, we'll see that. Let's see. Oh, this one wants to come out. You know what? I think there is like a frustration with Taurus, and the frustration is probably manifesting in anger. I think that's kind of how I see it. And it's a two-way of handling this. It looks like that you will try to do it softly, but you will not go anywhere with that. And hence, look, I have to abandon this way and find a different way. This can be somebody in your life that is coming strong for you, but maybe you're not realizing this. And I'm not talking about my dad. He's a story for himself, trust me. Ever since he had stroke, it's been very difficult, because he is becoming like a little child, and he was always stubborn, but like now that stubborn is like cranked up to like 1000. So, but guys, as I said over here in the general reading, so if you're just like listening to Taurus, listen the intro because it's important. It's going to be something emotional. So Taurus, look at this. Remember how I said you're going up to fire and going down to water? Again, I see that. So it almost looks like you're readjusting. And the Strength card is still the one that dominates, which is really, really good. Which is really good to see here. So keep that in mind. Try to focus. Try to kind of like find this conflict resolution. What do you want? What do you want to commit to? What you don't want to commit to? Kind of find this balance inside of you. It's going to happen for Taurus as well. It might have some kind of harshness in it, and I never like to see it in any reading. So remind me at the end of the session to talk about a little bit about readings, and when readings are positive and negative, because I wanted to talk about it. I completely forgot about it. Oh, you have mom dementia? Yeah, well, dementia is, yeah, you never know what to expect, but honestly, this is how he's feeling with him as well. So I did capacity assessment on him, and this woman said he's completely capable of making decisions and everything. But I think because he cannot communicate properly anymore, because what happens with stroke, you know all the words inside, but when you say them, wrong word comes. So he says, computer, fix. So literally what I'm doing here, I'm doing with him all the time, because I have to start gluing the things, and computer, fix, water. And what he meant by this, I need to kind of like go and see a doctor. So how would you go from this to this? And that's kind of like where it's becoming really difficult. So that's Taurus. Let's go Virgo. You know what, dear? This eclipse changed many people. Many people. This is kind of like really, really weird. Okay, Virgo. What's up for Virgo? What's up for Virgo this week? Huh. Virgo. Are you feeling let down? What's up for Virgo? Give me one more card for Virgo. Yeah, not a zillion. One more. Look at this. Virgo, you are like really kind of getting guarded. Like you're stepping back from something that had impact on you, had impact on your sense of security. On a boy, security is really, really, really important, right? So this is definitely a card that, like, I mean, we say you have been left out in the cold, right? But look at this, like there is like still needing to understand that they're like two people for each other, right? They're still there, that you still have friends, that this also can talk about monetary loss or feeling a crunch kind of a thing, and hence becoming guarded. And this is to me more than one way of being guarded. This is like to me about walls, and they even kind of like put the wall in here. So Virgo, this is good as a temporary protection, but I would not say this is a permanent solution, and you know it, right? So it's kind of like, I think you guys will focus to work entirely this week, and you will really not go into this swings of action. And why did I get this magician jumping out here? And that's a message for Taurus. and also general message. Something, it's saying something can be created, and again, the Magician can be a big manipulator. This is also Gemini. This is also Leo, as I said, Sagittarius, Cancer. Virgo, I don't think you're going to have all these oscillations. It's kind of like really difficult to move forward if you're doing this. So looks like the week is going to be very uneventful on the outside. You will be kind of like dealing with lots of internal reassessment during this week, but that's okay too, right? So who is the last one? Capricorn. You Capricorn. Any Capricorn over here? Because like I remember last week was like smooth sailing. Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. Well, let me see. The Magician. People say the Lovers is basically Gemini, but this is actually the original Gemini card. The Magician is kind of like a really interesting thing. First of all, it doesn't have a gender, even though he has a mustache over here. The Magician is talking about as above, so below, right? Like everything I can create anything that God can create. And because of that, right? You know what they say, power corrupts. And this is the absolute power. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if you're using your powers for good, then it's all good, right? But like what if you try to kind of like get a shortcut in something? That's why Magician is sort of like having duality. I always see that either as somebody who can create, you know, who would be a good description for this? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, who created enormous company, but who was also highly manipulative and kind of let down many people in his private life. Sort of like pretty much what we people are. We are like really good with someone, and we other people don't find that we are that great, etc., right? So, and let's see Capricorn. Capricorn. Oh boy, Capricorn, you're getting the Empress. You're also getting a major arcana. And I don't know, I just kind of looked at it and like, and it hit me, this should be Capricorn. You Capricorn are going to have an awesome week. If you are a woman, you're going to start feeling creative and beautiful and giving and nurturing toward the others around you. It's going to be really, really a really amazing period. Oh my gosh. The Empress also represents Libra, and it can represent Taurus. So it's going to be that earthy feeling. But look at, you have like water, fire, and earth. You guys almost like are going to be in such enormous balance with feeling on top of the world and feeling that things are just where they are supposed to be. Never mind Mercury retrograde. This is really, really good card. I love Empress because Empress is first of all now coming over here. Maybe you're going to be dedicating yourself to work and to children in particular. And if you don't work, or if you don't have children, or one of them, you're going to start exploring maybe some new hobby or something that you'll be creating this week. Especially writing and painting would be really, really well positioned. So, any questions while I'm sipping my coffee and all can hear it? Okay. Thank you, Lati. Thank you very much. I really need my 3 coffees a day, and then I'm good. You know what is kind of interesting about the Empress? When they, yes, another gulp. When they created this card, just to give you a little bit of history, they kind of like thought about a perfect woman. And this changed because like I see it in the reading for clients, and then, you know, it is a perfect woman. The men, they used to think about women where we would be mothers and take care of the household and have this reigns of and on everything. She's not necessarily kind of like the one, even though in this particular card she's showing a cleavage, but she's not the sexiest one. So she's like the woman that men would marry, but not necessarily the one that would have an affair. So just my 2 cents, right? Okay, say hi to your kitty. Air is next. Okay, Tia dear, you called it. You see? You know what, Tia dear, you're reading like what I'm going to say next. That's a biggie. So, Here we go. We are getting cards coming up for air. Air. Oh my gosh. Remember how this card jumped out? So, okay, it's coming to air. And this card is definitely having sort of like a touch of Uranus in it. Let me see. Air. Oh my gosh, look at air. Look at the amount of air. Holy smoke. Air. And this is a point about tarot reading, right? Look at the cards that I'm getting. I'm getting Nine of Wands. I'm getting Page of Swords reversed. Six of Pentacles reversed. The World reversed. Ace of Swords and Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is not the worst card in the suit. I would say Nine of Swords is, because here everything is done. You're on the bottom. It cannot get any worse. It's literally from this point on, it's going forward. Look at this. 9, 10, World. And that's what I've seen in Aquarian reading that I was doing yesterday. Something is coming to an end. I think Aquarius is coming very, very strongly through. But also, guys, pay attention. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo are here. As you can see, we don't have in the air as many majors as the other ones, which is good. So it's not going to be something major that we have to get over. I think you're pushing through something. I would say we are pushing through some kind of issues, because we need to achieve some kind of balance in order to move forward. There are still issues from the past, issues where we feel betrayed, issues where we feel that somebody kind of basically literally stabbed us in the back, or that like clarity was not reached, because the darkness in this card is really, really, really overwhelming. Whenever I see this card for air, I love it. This is not an easy card, and this is, to me, I'm kind of like considering all aces kind of half major arcanas, because they are the gateways to the new thing. And this one and the Chariot are the two fastest card, and something, I think we are going to have these flashes of introspection, flashes, because the swords have two blades. One goes on the out, but one can go in. So we'll be kind of reassessing our environment. We are going to be reassessing our own inner truth, as well as if other people are telling us the truth. I have to say, somebody will be doing spying over here, or we might be doing the spying. Page of Swords definitely has this kind of like stalker kind of like feel in it, right? Now, something is not finished from the past. This is very unusual for air signs. Air signs are usually just going forward. But this is like, you know, this like long, the old, what do you call it, record players, and they would get stuck and skip and skip and skip on the same spot. This is like a sort of a thing that I see happening over here. And change your passwords. That's what I would say. But I don't see anything mean happening. It's like this, almost like it's a good stalking, that somebody really wants to know how you're doing. Mind you, like they want to have an upper hand over something and maybe get information without giving anything back. So, but what we are doing collectively as air is reassessing if we are giving too much in life. Literally, I think it's coming back thinking that we are the problem, thinking that our own insecurities, our own issues, and our own way of dealing with people could maybe sometimes create a problem. And we are kind of like facing a whole bunch of things and a whole bunch of truths in this period of time. So, who is the first one? Gemini, right? Gemini. Look at this. This card seems to be really coming out. So Gemini, you in particular are being kind of like left behind. You somebody needs a soft spot to fall. Let me get one more for Gemini. Gemini. Look at this. There is like a issue of some kind of commitment. Somebody's disgusted with something. Somebody is like beyond unaccepting of issues. Maybe you feel shunned. Maybe you feel you're being pushed away, or you're pushing away somebody. This is definitely talking about something unconventional. This also can talk about marriage falling apart, or relationship falling apart, or simply that kind of environment has been kind of like born in a relationship that talks about, oh gosh, I can't deal with this. This is kind of like, God, I'm awful. Because this card talks about rejecting everything. So it can, I think Geminis are going to feel this kind of depressive mood very, very strongly over here. And sorry to say that. And it's going to be issue, do you want to commit? Or somebody not willing to commit, and somebody feeling kind of left out from the process, or some maybe premature ending, because somebody will want to fight for it, but not the other person. And that's going to be Gemini's kind of weak. It sucks. Sorry. It really sucks. But you know what? The good news is like kind of figuring out that when one door closes, another one opens. And this world has to turn around, right? Okay. So with Gemini moon, you kind of like more or less look for these kind of things, because moon is emotional. So you also want to refer to cups, but it's not necessarily cut and dry rule. So we are talking about Libra now. Let's check Libra. Oops. No, I don't want like 5,000. I want one. Libra. Okie dokie. Guys, Librans are trying to move forward. Librans are trying to really resolve the situation. Some of you Libras are going to have amazing week, but you might in the process not be very collaborative. So kind of like you want to move forward on your own terms, which kind of could be understood given, you know, how this is coming about. You're saying, okay, you know what, I was spinning in a spot and trying to wrap myself around someone, and nothing worked. So I have to at this stage kind of like figure out who I am and move forward. And you might get sort of like a feedback from the others. Oh, you're not a team player. So let me actually just clarify this card. Yeah, you know what, it's going to be your way or the highway, Libra. Literally, you're going to say, did I say Libra for you in the monthlies? Come back to me only if you do the right thing. This is literally what I'm seeing it here as well. You guys literally reached enormous clarity. And for Libra, who is always back and forth, this kind of is difficult. And it's going to be, look, don't bother me. If you have problems, you have to resolve your own problems. And I'm going to join this teamwork when this is done. So you figure it out, kind of a thing, right? So it's going to be really interesting. Let's see the questions. Well, they act the same way. They have the same sun and moon placements. Ironic. Okay, and Aquarius. Let's see. Aquas. And there we go. And look at this. 3 and 4, 3 and 4 and 4. So what are the chances, right? So Aquarians, again, feeling stuck. Aquarians are really stuck in this world. Remember I told you, like sometimes like when you start doing this job, you start kind of figuring out which cards are going to say. I wish the same thing happens for lottery playing. So there is a lack of vision, or maybe there is like inability to move forward. It's still this kind of protectiveness that is taking place. Walls are being built. There is like still no action on Aquarian part. Aquarius really, really needs to do some internal things, because when you do this, when you close yourself in, this is like also a card of keeping your pants on if you wish, but it also means you kind of are centered over something that is still kind of like festering or bubbling up to the surface, and that's going to be for Aquarius, kind of like resolving this. And this is not a bad card. This is a protectiveness. We build walls because we kind of like want to feel safe, and maybe we are just simply not ready or willing to move forward, which kind of, yay, in Mercury retrograde Aquarius, bad fit, really, really bad fit. Okay, who else? Aquarius girl should not be stuck. She should come to her Libra. Haha. Okay, so we didn't do water, right? Yet. Any questions, guys? Any questions? So guys, please give me thumbs up and subscribe, and as I said, get on my mailing list. You can go on cattarot.ca. On the bottom of the page there is like join my mailing list. And also I think that my brother did a pop-up that actually eventually comes on. We're trying to coordinate this properly. Another sip, because I get dehydrated. 1, because I drink too much coffee. 2, because I talk too much. Okay. Oh. Guys, you know what? You're the best crowd ever. You know what? I'm doing this lives. When did I start? I think about a year ago. And I never ever had, I only had one person that I kicked out. And that person was not even a part of Cat Tarot. Somebody just jumped in to sell some stuff. It made no sense. So that was it. And everybody else is so nice and so supportive. Just a little crowd that I enjoy to have coffee with on Saturdays or Sundays. So, water. Let you talk a lot. Wow. You know what? Like at the end of the evening, I am all drained, and that's why you see me on social media, because I can only do passive things. Talking is not my thing, and I cannot do that many readings either. I just do this like 2 or 3 a day, and I'm drained. And imagine when I'm doing monthlies and I have to do the readings, especially now I have this speed up promotion. It is kind of exhausting. So water, you're already getting some messages, and boy, you're getting big messages here. You're getting the Lovers and you're getting the Devil, sort of like they are 2 sides of the same coin. And this is actually really good. In this deck, usually the Lovers is about choice. Usually the Lovers is about figuring out what is making you happy. What do you love in your life? Devil is about being controlled in those emotions and being controlled. And this is a complete miss in this deck. This kind of is not a great card. Because of this card, I almost didn't get the deck, but I love the deck. It's Morgan Greer, by the way, if anybody's wondering. So this is the card of codependency. This is a card of people who do not understand what love is. And trust me, don't say it is them. It could be us as well. Check my other channel where I did put this video about codependency. This is really talking about having that inside hollowness, loneliness, and trying to be in a relationship for that reason. It's like when the person is going to say, I'm going to be alone, or it's when people stay with people who are just not good for them, instead of like keep going and looking for their own happiness. So you can see that completely light and dark side of the same thing, right? So I really feel water. And this also can talk about Gemini. This is Gemini moon, more or less. And this is Capricorn. When the Devil reverses, Devil also can talk, both of them actually can talk about a third-party situation. But not necessarily somebody putting the pause on your partner. It could be like ex-wife, ex-husband, work, something else interfering with relationship, where instead of like focusing on the good things and that everything can be learned from, all the side influences are creating disturbance. That's kind of really interesting combination. And I really think, water signs, you're kind of asking yourself, on which side am I? Am I a lover or am I a codependent? Because I will tell you how it feels. And I should probably, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send to everybody who joins my, what do you call it? Mailing list. I'm going to send this meditation for everybody to kind of balance this heart chakra. So it's going to be kind of bonus. Because you know what they say, love is gentle, love is kind. This one, it feels like, I'm going to die if he doesn't call me. Is he going to call me? Is he going to call me? Not love, love, right? And this is like in this whole society, we are being trained through movies and everything to think that love is like that, having that huge intensity, that is infatuation, these are the hormones. But then the love goes into the second stage where it's like more timid, and most people say, oh, the spark is gone, where it's just kind of different. You're kind of having a different format happening, right? And this is like where many things go wrong. And this is partially because we are under the influence of the media. So let me see. More water. Water messages. Wow, that's good. I think if I remember, water and earth last week had the biggest obstacles. Water. Interestingly enough, guess what you do? Well, you do have a little bit of water. You guys have amazing cards. First of all, I think you're going to be going deep. So water runs deep, right? To start with. It is kind of like that decision-making time. Where do I go from here? What kind of life I want? Who are the people who will stay in my life? You see this little orb? It's basically what kind of, like it's kind of like earth. What kind of life I want to build? What is my little universe? How do I see it? Where do I see it, right? It's still in the gloves in this deck, kind of like, that's kind of very interesting. And what most people miss to see it, and you cannot see it clearly because it is streaming, is like that there is another hand. It's kind of like reaching out. This is amazing card for relationships. Ace of Cups, not so much. Ace of Pentacles, yay. Because here, the real relationship has to go through these gates of love and friendship at the same time. Because look at here, we have everything from air to water to earth. And Ace of Pentacles is something long term. And it's interestingly here we have Gemini, Capricorn, Taurus. So we have a strong earth energy over here. Unbelievable strong earth energy, which means you guys are getting grounded. You guys are figuring out what you want, how far you want to go in your passions, how far you, like, this is almost drawing a line and saying you have to meet me halfway. And also I think you people, you water signs, are trying to figure out what works, what are the rules, and you're going to define these rules. And you're going to say, you know what, this is very important for me, and I know I have to be open-minded, but I have to figure out, and by the way, happy Easter, looks like this is kind of coming through. These are the rules that generally we agree to follow to make our life easier, and these are usually good moral rules. And maybe some of you are craving to get married. Maybe some of you are tired of not having a direction, and now you're getting like this increased focus. In order to get married, I cannot meander, go back and forth. I have to know in which way to go, even if this means sometimes being overly structured, right? But there you go, you're opening up to new dreams, and it's kind of like in kind of like, what do I want? Do I want health? Focusing on different aspects of your life, that's for sure. I mean, I have to say this kind of looks very positive and very, very nice, right? Okay, so let's go in. Who is the first one? Cancer. Ooh, Cancer. What's up, Cancer? Spilled milk? I think this is the devil coming through, Cancer. Yeah, that's this trajectory. Maybe for Cancers, a relationship came to an end. And it is like a lots of time spent. Okay, why is this not being able to work out? It is sometimes inability to kind of like see what is around us. So it's just like basically telling me that the focus is on the wrong thing, because it's obvious the 2 cups that are still working is something that should be. So Cancer needs to turn around and involve with the other people and kind of like open up to the other people, because crying over spilled milk makes no sense, right? Whatsoever. Let's get one more for Cancer. And you got a few more. You know what? Getting out of this is either going to be a King of Rods showing up in your life. It's kind of weird. You actually are going to have people showing up in your life this week, and you will resist kind of getting engaged with them, because the Temperance means something is not the right timing, and the Strength is like, looks like you might have fire people in your life, in particular Sagittarius and a Leo, but it definitely tells me that something is still not the right timing, and hence you're sort of like putting one foot in front of another, or even worse yet, sort of like putting your head in sand and spending time kind of really sad, where this is all telling you, look, just re-engage with people, and possibly engage with groups of people. This actually even can talk about going to church, going to club or that you belong to, because it's even the company event. This is definitely talking about that. Whether it's a right timing or not, it's asking you to re-engage. That's for sure. Now, let me see who is the next one. Is Scorpio. Hi, Kanzater. Hi, how are you? Scorpio. Queen of Rods. Scorpio. Okay, so it's some kind of messaging from a possible fire sign, female, or a Leo. It could be maybe that you're expecting some news, and it could be that something is delayed. But this also can talk about messages of love, or maybe you, Scorpio, understanding. See, when we were talking about love, these are definitely arrows of love. Kind of how, maybe how do you express this? Let me see this. And why are these 2 reversed for Scorpio? Ooh, you need to come to the end of the cycle, because you see 2 is not, and 1 and 2 are still not moving. 1 and 2 are still kind of like reassessing where you want to move. But look, you're getting this Wheel of Fortune, so you will be coming to the top of something. Maybe there is an issue that you have in your life, but this definitely talks big changes happening. You guys, this week you're going to plant a seed for something that is going to be really, really huge in the future. And this week is going to be starting sort of like with whole freaky Mercury retrograde kind of thingy. It's going to end really well. This is not to say that this is not going to go down as well, because this is the cyclical nature of it, especially during the Mercury retrograde. And Pisces. Now look at this one again. Pisces. You know what, Pisces? You're dealing with a third party. I'm sorry to say this. And hence, you're torn. Yeah, Pisces, look at this. 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups reversed. I think, Pisces, you probably had that third party, and it's kind of weird, because like when I did your monthly, it really felt like you're going to be let down. And I hate to do kind of like that kind of like horoscopes, but if I don't, like, I mean, if I don't tell you the truth, then what's the point of wasting my time or your time, right? So this can talk about somebody not willing to come on board. Like maybe you're waiting for a partner to come back, because all of these three cards are telling me the third party. And I think this is the meaning of this like first two cards. I probably rewind back to the beginning of Earth. So if you guys stamp also Earth in addition to signs, you're reassessing what is love, what is not love. And there is this possible breakup, or this also can mean a karmic breakup, sort of like coming to terms with what you want and what you don't want, and realizing that this balance is basically the key in life. It is kind of like fine what you give, what you take, but you're also going to realize what is that you are doing right and what is that you are doing wrong, but mostly what you're doing right. There is like definitely strong soulmate, like 1, 2, 3 sixes over here, karmic soulmate. So it might feel a little bit harsh, right? But there is kind of like that, like, remember how I said, right? Like, I mean, these could be reassessing what is love, what is not love. You're definitely figuring out what works for you and how to move forward with that. Yeah, this is like kind of like really kind of figuring out how much you can give, because if you give and give and give, the universe says, okay, you know what, you don't need to receive anything. So this is like when people think they're martyrs and like I'm a victim. No, you also are a part of the problem, because you have to establish that you just cannot do this kind of like indefinitely. You have to be able to receive as well, and that's kind of like sometimes harder lesson to absorb. All right. Getting coffee again. Yes. No, did you miss me? No, I'm here. So guys, let's just for a second talk about the readings and how this actually works out. Let me take another deck and just a general reading. This is not a reading, just examples. So let's see the cards that come out. So for example, I would get attacked. So great example, because I wanted to have a negative example. I'm having 8 of Pentacles that generally talks about not paying attention to details, possibly some kind of sloppy work. 2 of Wands, not being able to see vision for your life, not understanding the strengths and the weaknesses, maybe being foolish about that, just like saying, oh no, everything will work out, and living in a fear and denial. So how do I make a positive out of this? Isn't this better to say, hey guys, you know, you need to work on your own inner turmoil. It's good to face the things. Sometimes being really overly optimistical is a hindrance. Try to figure out the methods in your life, how to do it. But yet I get attacked. I get attacked by people that I'm negative, that I'm depressed. Tarot is life. You know, in my life, and maybe it's my problem, maybe it is my life, I don't have like 100% of happy hours. I kind of feel that I kind of have it up and down like as everybody else. Sometimes I get kind of like that harsh end because I'm an air sign. Sometimes I'm overly mushy. But it kind of goes up and down like that wheel of fortune. So the same thing will be in the reading. It's not going to be just like roses are red kind of things, right? So that's my 2 cents that I want to say. So, God, that's why I don't sleep. But I have 3 coffees and they're like really weak coffees. I only put 2 spoons for 3 coffees when I make it in one of those French presses. So it's not kind of the thing. But, and I stopped drinking Coke, Diet Coke, which was a major problem. I just like think that my apartment is too hot and I'm having a problem. Can you change the lower stream video quality? It can help buffering. I cannot do it halfway, but maybe I can do it in the future. Is that the problem? Are you guys continuously having a problem with back and forth of connectivity? Because I see it on yellow over here on my end. So I don't know, I kind of like this, that you can go back. Oh no, not me. Okay, fine. All right, guys, any questions that you have? I just want to go back and see if I had any questions here. And I really want to wish everybody happy Easter. I hope you're going to have nice and family time, and you know, try not to have a crazy uncle and that kind of thingies, right? So I'm just going back and checking some stuff. I'm surprised that Sophie didn't show up, because she was here with Matrix the very first thing. Okay. So guys, if you're going to watch live feed after, please also, if you're stamp for where the element starts, because it's this time around was really important to get the general as well. So this is enough. This is from me. I have to start getting myself together. It is already like 12:37 here. I have to start getting ready for my weekend. And I really hope that, yes, you're going to watch the moon tonight. Be careful driving, because the full moon kind of affects our emotion and also affects driving. So yeah, for the private reading, please contact me at catchtarot.ca. And in the meantime, please check me up on Facebook, that you kind of hate, and Instagram. If anybody wants to help with Instagram, please contact me. And guys, until the next time, I love you. Thank you so much for sharing this morning coffee with me, and I'll talk to you the next weekend. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.